new government in Pakistan handling the economy is possibly the biggest challenge. And to prevent the country from spiralling into a deeper economic crisis, the Shehbaz Sharif-led government is taking some tough remedial measures. Reducing fuel subsidies tops all of them. For the second time in a week now, fuel subsidies have been slashed across the country. The prices of petroleum products shot up after the Shehbaz Sharif-led government reduced fuel subsidies. Petrol and diesel prices have been hiked by 17%. The cost of all petroleum products are now up by 30 Pakistani rupees. Petrol will now be sold at more than 209 Pakistani rupees, while diesel will cost 204 Pakistani rupees. Just last week, the country had raised prices by around 20%. A subsidy of around 9 Pakistani rupees per litre still remains. Before a hike in fuel prices kicked in at midnight, residents rushed to petrol stations across cities of Lahore and Karachi. Angry residents complained of getting crushed under the inflation pressure, since petrol prices are raised without any hike in their income.
पिछले हफ्ते में बढ़ा था 30 रुपए, इस हफ्ते में 30 रुपए बढ़ा। ये तो महंगाई होनी है, तूफान तो आना है तो महंगाई का, इसका कुछ भी हल नहीं है।
हमारी सैलरी तनख्वाहें तो वही है, पेट्रोल महंगा होता जा रहा है, हम लोग मरते जाएंगे, पिसते जाएंगे। कारोबार की हालत ऐसी है कि पहले समझो कस्टमर है ही नहीं, कहीं भी जाओ, किसी भी जगह पे जाओ, सैर व तफरीह को तो दूर की बात है कि कहीं निकला जाए। महंगाई इतनी है, घर से बाहर हम जा नहीं सकते।
Meanwhile, the Finance Minister, Miftah Ismail, justified the move by calling it an attempt to control the fiscal deficit and secure an international monetary fund bailout. Pakistan and the IMF concluded negotiations last week on the resumption of the bailout program. Lifting fuel subsidies has been the biggest issue between Pakistan and the IMF. The IMF demanded the government withdraw subsidies, which are costing the cash-strapped country billions per month. Keeping petroleum products subsidized is costing Pakistan around 120 billion in domestic currency every month. As the new rates, petroleum product subsidy would be reduced to about 25 billion Pakistani rupees per month. And according to these reports, the IMF and Islamabad had reached a deal to release more than $900 million in funds once Pakistan removed these subsidies. Meanwhile, China has agreed to refinance Pakistan with funds more than $2.3 billion. The rollover will be at a cheaper interest rate. The refinancing is expected to shore up Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves, which are currently under severe strain falling below $10 billion. And for more insights on the ongoing economic crisis in Pakistan, our Bureau Chief, Anas Malik, sends us this report from Islamabad. Take a look.
The Pakistani government has announced another increase in petroleum products prices that is applicable from today. It was announced on a 3-hour notice, and with that increase, the petroleum prices have now risen by about 60 rupees, Pakistani rupees, in a span of just 8 days. Now, this is the maximum hike that petrol has ever seen, and with the hike, with the increase, the petroleum prices have now crossed double figures, or have now crossed its double century, and it's now being sold at Pakistani rupees 209.86 per litre. Now, that increase has been received with a lot of critique by people within the government, the allies of the incumbent government, by the opposition, that is Imran Khan-led Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and other people from various societies and sectors as well. The government, on the other hand, maintains that this has been done in line with its obligations with the IMF to reduce the fuel subsidies. It has also hinted that there can possibly be more increase, given that the government is still bearing about 24 rupees on as subsidy on diesel prices, and whereas another 8 to 9 rupees on petroleum prices. So that more increase has been hinted upon. Now, not just petroleum prices, but yesterday there has been deliberations to increase the prices of electricity per unit, and reports say that from the 1st of July, the applicable price per unit of electricity would be 24 rupees. That's a 47% increase compared to what it was in the previous government. The government, again, as I said, it emphasizes that it is being done in line with the IMF requirements, the brunt of which is being borne by the common people. The government goes on to say that in the upcoming budget, there will be considerable relief that will be provided in the upcoming budget that is to be presented before the Parliament on the 10th of June. Anas Malik, Islamabad, Pakistan for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.